everybody, and welcome to That Wrestling Show, the only podcast where all pro wrestling matters, and Happy New Year and a Happy New Decade from all of us to all of you listening to this podcast. I am Bill, and joined as always is Fro. How are you doing, Fro?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. I'm from America.
Yes. And you know, we're in a new year, we're in a new decade, and you wonderful listeners may have heard something new at the beginning of this week's episode, because we have a brand new theme song for the program. No more silent beginnings. We have a new theme song, and I want to thank Joseph McDade, who is a musician. You can use his music for free. Just go to josephmcdade.com, and you could use it for anything. Podcasts like That Wrestling Show. You could use it for YouTube videos, indie movies, video games. You name it, you can use it. All he asks for is to give him credit for the song. So, Joseph, thank you for letting the entire internet world hear your music. You could hear other songs that he does on his website, josephmcdade.com. All right, this week we are going to talk about Wrestle Kingdom 14. It is this weekend.
Woo!
We're going to preview both shows. We're going to make our predictions for who will win a lot of big matches there. Plus the weekly wrestling news. I guess you're going to do this as well. Our best TV show of the week. And we also have a Royal Rumble report from Al Out of Love. Yes, Al Out of Love has come out of rehab. He's doing much better. So we're going to hear him a little bit later on with our Royal Rumble report. But first things first, if you missed it, last week the official audio came out of the nominees in all the categories for voting for this year's That Wrestling Award show. It is 2 weeks away, and I'm looking at some of these races right now, and we have some very close races.
Nice.
Some of them, I'm not going to say who's winning or anything, but I just want to mention the ones that are very close right now. Feud of the Year, it's a 2-horse race there. Most Overrated is a 2-horse race. Let's see. Best Major Wrestling Show is very interesting at the moment. Best Weekly TV Show has been good. Best Wrestling Promotion is actually tied at the moment. Best Tag Team of the Year, that's a 3-team contest at the moment. The Woman of the Year is very close. And Wrestler of the Year, I can tell you right now, is tied.
Ooh.
And I have not placed my vote yet on any of the categories.
Nice.
So, in 2 weeks, on January the 17th, that will be the date for our award show, and we will announce all the winners in those categories, and that is voted upon by you, the fans of That Wrestling Show. All right, let's talk about some interesting news. This is good news, I think, especially for fans of independent wrestling, because this was announced about 3 days ago, and this is very cool news because IWTV is the biggest streaming service for independent wrestling anywhere, and they have, over the last few years, gotten material to put up from Smart Mark Video, which sells DVDs of, Lord, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of promotions, bro. I mean, it's like, it would take me forever to list off every promotion that has stuff sold from Smart Mark Video. Well, they announced on New Year's Eve a merger, and I have the press release right here in front of me. Today, we're excited to announce that IWTV, that's Independent Wrestling TV, and Smart Mark Video have come to terms on a new agreement that will expand our partnership into 2020, and of course that is according to the Chinese calendar, the year of Barbara Walters, and beyond. This new agreement will build upon our existing relationship with Smart Mark Video, which has allowed us to bring thousands of hours of independent wrestling content to subscribers. Now, the two companies are merging into a united force in an effort to better service the independent wrestling community and the promotions we partner with. I'm sure you're wondering, what does that all mean, Bill? Well, I'm going to tell you. Smart Mark Video will head their video production efforts, to help improve on the quality of the live stream events. New live streams will be announced soon featuring new partner promotions, and there was one that was announced later that night, which I'll get to in a moment. Smart Mark Video will continue to partner with Fight TV for live streams, including featured IWTV partner promotion events. New promotions will become a regular part of our weekly Throwback Thursday release schedule, so that'll be pretty cool. All IWTV partner promotions will now have access to additional distribution options through Smart Mark Video, including DVD, Blu-ray, video on demand, and MP4. Equipment upgrades and further development of their apps will ensure the best possible viewing experience for fans, and a multicasting feature will be added soon, allowing multiple events to stream live on IWTV at the same time. That's actually, I think that last one's the big one. Because...
So you think this is good news?
I really do. And I am subscribed to Independent Wrestling TV. It's $100 a year. And you get a bunch of good content. Beyond Wrestling had... their last show, Heavy Lies the Crown, on New Year's Eve, which has become a New Year's tradition, really. And that's a lot of fun. And they did announce during that show that Cleveland, Ohio-based promotion Absolute Intense Wrestling, which has gotten a name here in the United States, they are going to have a show live on IWTV on February the 7th. So I do like this because... this is going to give not only the wrestlers, but I think the fans more opportunities to see, not only current independent wrestlers, but new wrestlers they've never seen before. So I think it's a great deal. I really do. So be fun to see what it goes down in 2020. Alright. Now, Fro, I have to play a certain song whenever we get this kind of news.
Oh no, who's getting murdered now?
For those of you who are listening for the very first time, we play a special song whenever we find out that a female wrestler or personality has gotten engaged or has gotten married. Fro is not going to be able to hear the music while we're recording this show. He'll hear it once the episode has been put up, which is what I like about this. This is why I like this joke, because I can play the song while we're recording. He can't hear it, but when the show pops up, he can hear it. All right, so here we go. This is one of my favorite jokes. I love this joke. New Year's Eve. It was posted on Twitter and confirmed on just about every wrestling website, including WWE. Charlotte Flair is engaged to Andrade.
Yay!
I'm actually a little bit happy about this one.
Yeah, they've been together for
Like a year?
Forever, haven't they?
I think it's been like a year and a half.
Yeah, if not even more.
But Andrade, you know, every time I see him on TV, he always looks like a cool guy. And Charlotte's been through 2 marriages and 2 divorces already. So, you know, the 3rd time's going to be the charm. So, but no, congratulations to Andrade and Charlotte Flair on their engagement. And I liked Andrade's post on Twitter when he announced it. He just wrote, "She said see." There we go. I thought that was pretty, you know, I thought the reveal was pretty cool. So. All right, let's get into wrestling podcast news.
Mm-hmm.
Like we ever get to talk about that a lot.
No.
Apparently, video game journalist and wrestling fan, and I've never heard of this guy before, so Dan Reisert announced today that he is leaving CBS Interactive's GiantBomb.com. Beginning next week, he will be moving over behind the scenes of WWE's podcasting network, becoming a producer on the New Day's podcast, Feel the Power. Kofi commented on Reichert joining the team, saying, quote, "It's a little bit of both. We had a producer, which was Emilio Sparks, but it's now Dan Reichert going forward. They'll give us a sheet, almost like a guide, and we sometimes go off that, and other times we don't, and just kind of go off on our own. That's why it feels so natural, because it's just us talking. I think eventually down the line we'll open it up and have people send us questions and topics that they want to hear us discuss, and we'll be more than happy to discuss it. But it's like a skeleton, and then we go from there." All right.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little like we joke about it on another digital system that the only emails we receive is from Jeremy, and it's a running joke that we go with. We tell people our email address and also this email address.
Yeah,
we never get the emails.
No, we never do.
But it's just like, if people want to engage, they want to engage.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We have told you guys, you know, our email address, which for some reason I right now can't get into. But anyway,
that's because I'm hacking you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's why, but
right.
Let's say so.
Okay.
Let's pretend.
Sure. Let me get rid of that. No, that's not it, doggone it. There we go.
I'm going to sing a song soon, if you don't.
Okay, so anyway, in other podcast wrestling news, Ring of Honor ambassador Kerry Silken is going to be launching a podcast real soon called Last Stop Penn Station. And this is named for the train station that sits under Madison Square Garden. Kerry Silken is going to tell stories of his life within professional wrestling and his incredible life in the old-time square as a ticket broker. Silken, who has been working on a memoir about his life, has launched an official Facebook page for the podcast. Ian Riccaboni will be joining Silken on the podcast as well. I've always heard that Kerry has had a very interesting life. Kerry Silken, I mean. And I think him doing a podcast might actually be pretty cool. Because, you know, here's a guy who, for a while, used to own Ring of Honor. And he has seen just about everything you can imagine. You know, not only in wrestling, but maybe outside. He's probably got stories about legendary concerts. within New York City. So I think him doing a podcast would be really, really cool, and I might actually subscribe to the podcast because I've always felt Carrie Silken has been such an underrated individual as far as the history of wrestling goes, because he was the driving force, I guess money-wise, with Ring of Honor for many, many years. And then when the Sinclair Broadcasting Group bought the promotion, they, were able to, keep him on as an ambassador. And that's all he's been. He's never been a character on Ring of Honor programming. He's always been Kerry Silken, the guy, So I might actually download that podcast once it comes up. So
it sounds interesting enough.
Yeah. I'm going to give it, it's like my thinking with a TV show. I'm going to give at least the first episode a try. At least.
By the way, I have very good news for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what begins on Sunday?
What begins on Sunday? Tell me.
The Masked Singer UK.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. The Masked Singer UK.
Speaking of Masked Singer, did you watch Saturday Night Live with Eddie Murphy a few weeks ago?
I did.
Didn't you like that Masked Singer skit?
It was.
It was good. I want buttweed on there now.
Yeah, that was funny.
All the Tingle Ladies. All the Tingle Ladies.
All the Tingle Ladies.
All the Tingle Ladies. And then when he sang respect, he's like, RESPDDT. That's what it means to me. If you haven't checked it out,
but then,
please do.
That was a very good episode.
It really was.
Yeah, one of their best.
Man.
The weekend update with that green thing.
Gumby.
That was so funny.
Gumby, damn it.
Gumby.
Oh, man.
I'm bigger than him.
How dare you put me in this stupid sketch? I should have been in the beginning. I should have been on the whole damn show. That was a great episode. That was a fun night. That really was.
It was.
Speaking of...
Anyway.
Oh, go ahead.
Anyway, yes. Go on.
Speaking of fun, this week on NXT, because it was the year-end award show, so there really was no show to discuss, they announced the return of the Dusty Tag Classic, and they announced the 8 teams. And I have in front of me, because this was announced today, the first round matches for the tournament. These are some good tag team matches here in round 1. So this year, what they've done, and I actually like this, they have chosen 4 teams from NXT and 4 teams from NXT UK to be in the tournament. So here are the first round matches. We will have Marcel Barthel and Fabian Aichner representing Imperium against Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler from the Forgotten Sons.
Okay.
Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne will take on Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. That's going to be good. The Grizzled Young Veterans will take on Kushida and a mystery partner. And the NXT UK Tag Team Champions, Mark Coffey and Wolfgang from Gallus, will take on Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, the NXT Tag Team Champions from Undisputed Era.
Ooh.
That is round 1.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's some good ones.
There's not one team on there, and this is a good thing I'm about to say. There's not one team on there that screams right off the bat that team's going to win the whole thing.
No, I totally agree.
And that's what makes those kind of tournaments fun.
Yeah.
Because, there are some tournaments that, we've talked about in the past where it's like, oh, well, we know who's going to win this one. It's going to be that guy, it's going to be that guy. Here, you really don't have any idea how it's going to go. And then I actually have the physical, well, the digital, I should say, not physical, but the digital bracket in front of me. The winners of the Imperium Forgotten Sons match will face the winners of the Riddle Dunn Andrews Webster match. And the winner of the Grizzled Young Vet Kushida match will face the winners of the Gallus Undisputed Era match. That's the semifinals. And I would imagine, and I'm only guessing here what I'm about to say. The finals are going to take place at When Worlds Collide, which they're going to have the night before the Rumble. That's my guess. Because they've already announced the main event of that event, which is an 8-man tag team match, Undisputed Era against Imperium.
Right.
So that's going to be my guess, that the finals take place at When Worlds Collide. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong.
When is When Worlds Collide?
That's the night before the Rumble, and that is January 25th.
Okay.
And then the Royal Rumble is the 26th.
I'm always interested in NXT things, and this sounds like a good and smart thing for them. So
yeah. I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about, because I did watch a little bit of, well, I have to watch a little bit of wrestling each week for, our listeners. What was your favorite show this week? Mine is going to surprise everyone, and I will explain why when I say my pick.
I think maybe Raw?
All right. I'd like to hear your...
I really liked... was that the wedding?
Yeah, that was the wedding episode.
One? Yeah, I just loved that wedding episode. I had so much fun. I can't remember the last time I laughed at the ending as much as I did with that. With Lana turning as a lesbian. That was very funny. Yeah, I have to go with Raw. Then SmackDown, I think. Then... I don't know.
Well, NXT didn't really have a show this week, so...
No, not really. And AEW was a little disappointing, to be honest with you. But I think maybe tied with Raw was the internet one. Jeez, why can't I remember what they are called? NWA, yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
I haven't actually seen that episode yet, and that surprises me because I usually am on it, every week. I will watch it, but... Bro, like I said, I'm going to surprise everyone. Monday Night Raw was the best show this week.
I totally agree.
And here, I'm going to say my reasons. First off, everything came off smooth. The matches, came off good. The storylines were good this week.
Yeah.
The Randy Orton, AJ Styles bit, that was really good. I mean, Because
Yeah, I mean, Randy Orton has not done anything interesting in the last decade, and I was fucking interested in a Randy Orton thing.
that
I mean,
was done perfectly.
that's saying something. When
Mhm.
when I care about Randy Orton, they have done something really, really, really good.
You're right. Um, then we had, God, we had some good matches this week. Actually,
Hmm.
Andrade and Ricochet, which pretty much took up most of the third hour, was really
Mm.
good. Um, Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black was just incredible.
Oh, so good.
Those two could wrestle a million times, and I could not be
Yep.
disappointed. I would not be disappointed. The opening segment was very
Hmm.
good with KO, Samoa Joe, Rollins, AOP. That came off great. Charlotte Flair, that promo was good, even though, and I'm usually not one of those people that nitpick certain things, but I've got to here. When she announced her entry for the Royal Rumble, she's like, I am the first person, man or woman, to announce their entry in the Royal Rumble this decade. Um,
Hmm.
Charlotte, it's still 2019. We have another day to go. Apparently, no one told Charlotte that.
No, nobody informed her.
No, no. The Street Profits and the OC was fun to watch.
Hmm.
The
Oh yeah.
segment and the match. That was fun to
Hmm.
watch. Drew McIntyre beating up Ryder and Hawkins, and I know Ted's a huge Zack Ryder fan, one of our many friends of the show, but that was fun to watch. Um, the whole Andrade thing, like I said, was really good. But,
It was. Yeah.
but, like you said, it boiled down to the wedding.
Oh, the wedding was so done perfectly. I mean, I usually don't like comedy segments as that, but the way they did it was so smooth.
And I think for those who didn't watch it, because they probably refused to watch it, which I totally
Mm.
understand, I think we have to give a blow by blow detail of everything that happened. So we get this, like during the night, we see Lana, she's getting prepped up for the wedding. We see Lashley getting prepped up in a stripper jacket, it looked like, because that man had no sleeves in there. So we get ready for the wedding. There is there are seats set up on the entranceway. No one is there. That was funny. I liked that. I thought that was really good. So Lashley comes out and Lana comes out. And Fro, they went to a commercial break. So that whole time, if you're in the audience, you are sitting there, seeing Lana and Lashley maybe talking to themselves, waiting two,
Mm.
3 minutes for this to happen. Then we get into the actual ceremony. The guy who played the preacher, the reverend, was phenomenal. And I found out later, and I don't have his name in front of me right now. He's an actor from New York. He is an
Okay.
he is a legitimate actor from New York. I'm gonna try to find the article because it had the name on it. So the fans are eating this up. They know how this is gonna, how trashy this is. And Lana interrupts a few times because the fans are chanting Rusev Day, and she's like, "It's not Rusev Day, it's Lana Day, Lana, Lana." She's trying to get that chant over, and they talk for a little bit, and then they have the wedding vows. Lana does hers first. And it is funny because basically she's saying, I just want to bang you, straight up. I just want to bang, this guy. And she hops on, and they are making out, and then Lashley stops, and the Reverend's like, good job resisting. Okay, so I have the actor's name. His name is Rick Malone. His previous work includes, if you're curious, The Merry Wives of Windsor, Master Page, Capitol Classics, and other projects that he's done. And he does have a Facebook. And I want to read this real quick, then we'll get back into describing the wedding. He wrote on his Facebook, officiating the nuptials of Bobby Lashley and Lana at WWE Raw in Hartford, Connecticut last night and nationally telecast on the USA Network. The craziest 20 minutes of my professional acting career.
Wow.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not.
So then, Lashley reads the vows that Lana wrote for him to read, which was pretty funny. I was like, oh, this is good. This is so good. It's terribly good. And then the preacher gets the rings out, and they place the rings on, and they say the vows.
It's so sweet.
And okay, and you know what? There's an unsung hero in this, and I have to say it. And if I upset people with saying it and getting them upset, I don't care. Jerry Lawler was great. He was like, because he was like, yeah, I cried at my wedding all 3 times I got married.
That was so good.
And then he's like, oh, he's sort of going with the crowd. He's like, oh man, this is terrible. And then we get to the beginning of the best part of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
The preacher says, if there's anyone, God forbid, that has any reason why these two should not be married, speak now or forever hold your peace. And then this is where it gets great, because as he's saying this, the entire arena stands on their feet because they know somebody's going to come. And Jerry's like, oh, here we go.
I was 110% sure it was going to be Rusev. I was so happily when it wasn't. Okay,
so let's describe how it all goes. The first person that comes down, and Fro, I swear this is the truth what I'm about to say. I thought it was X-Pac in a wig. I really did.
Oh, really?
I did, because he looked a little bit like him. I was like,
yeah, I can see.
I can see. Is that X-Pac? No, it couldn't be. So Lana knows who this is, and she acts good in this. Let's give her credit. She acts good in this. And he's like, I'm Lana's first husband. We got married when she turned 18. And then she left me for that son of a bitch Rusev. And then she left her for this son of a bitch here. You better watch out or else she's going to leave you for another son of a bitch. And Lashley kicks this guy's ass. Then the Reverend tries again. If there's any reason why these two should not be married, speak now or forever hold your peace. And then here comes this random lady. And Lashley's like, oh no. This is Lashley's first wife.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, and she was going to start talking about how, he was really sweet when we were on the military base. Because Lashley, for those who don't know at this point, not a lot of people, I think, don't know by now. But he was in the Army or the Marines, so he's a legit badass, you know. So as she's talking, Lana beats her up. And we've run over the time at this point. That's another thing I think we should mention. Is because normally Raw will end at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. But somehow, some way, I don't know how they did it, they managed to get extra time on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the preacher goes, all right, this is the last time I'm going to do this. If you have any reason why these two should not be married, speak now or forever hold your peace and don't say anything. And then, well, at first nobody comes out. And then the preacher's about to call them man and wife when all of a sudden, here comes this woman. Fro, I'm not kidding when I say this. I had no idea who this was at first.
Really? I recognized her at once. I recognized her at once.
Because I'm like, whoever this is a freaking babe, you know?
Yeah.
And then later, like, it wasn't until I think when they started fighting or after Raw and I went on my phone, it's Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this girl is freaking hot. I mean, remember, okay, do you remember last year when we did our annual PWI 50 questions survey? And
Yes.
one of the questions was, who do you think is the hottest female in wrestling today? And Liv Morgan was the one that was chosen at the top, and you were like, I don't know about that, you know?
Yeah, no, I still don't know about that.
But after seeing this episode, I'm a little convinced I could see where they were going with this.
There's arguments, yeah.
I mean, to a degree. And as soon as she comes out, I said to myself, this is on Lana. This is not Bobby Lashley. This is on Lana.
No, it's definitely on Lana.
And Liv Morgan does this amazing job of, like, this was
I think it's one of the best promos I have ever seen, and I'm not even kidding you. I just loved it because the way she talks makes it sound like she is going to say, what is his name?
Lashley.
Lashley, yeah.
Because she's like...
Everybody was so sure that it was going to be Lashley, and I was
I knew it was Lana right away.
Wait and see, yes.
Yeah. Because she's like, this has been the hardest year of my life. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And then you came along at the Performance Center, and you made everything better. And I thought we were going to get married. And Lashley's like, I don't know who this is. And she's like, oh, I'm not talking about you, Bobby. And then the crowd's like, whoa! And then, you know, and then Lana and Liv have a fight. And then as they're just about to be announced husband and wife, Rusev pops out of the cake, which was in the ring for some...
Oh, so
reason.
funny.
Well, I mean, that's really the only way he could have crashed that wedding. Because he's not going to...
I loved it.
I know, I thought it was
so
good.
good.
No, I thought it was good, too. But, you know, but I know you said that you thought he was going to be the one that came down and stopped the wedding.
Right.
In a way, I sort of knew he wouldn't, but I wasn't sure how he was going to get involved in the wedding.
Right.
And then once you see this cake, it's like, well, okay, he's got to be there. So they have this fight. Morgan comes back, and apparently referees get involved, so you can have referees at a wedding. So, you know,
Yep.
I want that for when I get married. I want a couple of referees there. And Liv and Rusev basically ruined the wedding that never was, you know, it never officially ended, technically. And that's how Raw ends.
Yeah.
And Okay. Was this the best wedding ever? No. God, no. This was not the best wedding ever. I mean, if you watch...
I think the best wedding I have ever seen live was Edge and Vicky Guerrero.
Okay, that was a good one. I still say the best one because, I'm a child of the product. Savage and Elizabeth was the best. Whoa, I don't know. Test and Stephanie McMahon was a really good wedding, too.
Oh, that was a good one,
That was a good one. Okay, but back to what I was going to say. You had to go not only into that episode, but also into that wedding with the lowest of expectations.
Yep.
I mean, if you didn't think going into this, okay, this is going to be bad, just how bad is it going to be?
No, I totally agree.
Then I can see the point where people got mad, but at the same time, I don't understand it. I really don't understand it because...
I don't understand it for 3 reasons.
Okay.
The first reason is, what do you want then? Like this is a trope, and if you don't follow the tropes, people would freaking complain about that as well. If they did something completely new and outbreaking, people would be extremely mad. And as a non-traditionalist in wrestling, as a newcomer to wrestling, I just loved it. And 2, Liv Morgan was the perfect choice because there's a lot of people that don't remember her, and I think it's a perfect excuse to have her come back. And with all her history behind her, it's just it makes freaking sense. That's the second one. And the third one was the acting in this is amazing. Just what did you want?
I mean, were you expecting an Academy Award-winning performance out of this?
Right.
But okay, no. I actually want to go back to your point about Liv Morgan because for the last few weeks they've been doing, promo videos, hype videos for Liv Morgan, and the whole community that I saw was like, "Oh, this is going to be another Emelina," which was sort of my thought, but I just didn't say it out loud.
Right.
Her coming out that night in that segment pretty much proves, okay, this is not another Emelina. This is Liv Morgan. This is how we're going to use Liv Morgan. This is how it's going to go. But
and they're pumping her to one of the. I'm going to be honest. In the beginning, this annoyed me. This whole thing annoyed me. But WWE knows something. They know how to spin a storyline, and I think I have fallen in love with this storyline the more it has gone on. And it's just it's a perfect bow on the cake, no pun.
Right, no pun intended.
But it's just the perfect amount of what I wanted, and it's just I can't say anything about it that
But
it's negative.
But if you really think about it, going back to when this story began, with Lana and Lashley, being together, at some point, the wedding had to come. And I think they timed it very well, very correctly. And, it's like, you had to expect this to be a Jerry Springer kind of thing. And if you didn't, and you're upset and you're saying, oh my God, this is one of the worst segments ever, which in hindsight it sort of is, but then you really need to take a look at yourself in the mirror. This was so bad, it was hilarious. That's what I look at it as. Like
Yeah.
like going into that episode, everything was good. The matches were good. The segments were good. And then when you get to the wedding, if you're watching it, when it happens, it's like, okay, this is going to be bad. Just how bad it was, we had no idea. And it was so bad, it was hilarious. That's why Raw was the best show this week on TV. And
it reminds me a little of when I went to see Cats in the movies.
Oh, you poor soul.
I know. I know. I love to torture myself for some reason. But it reminds me a little of that in the way of where everything is so awful that it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've said to many people that I don't recommend that movie, but go and see it, because then you can say that you have seen Cats.
I'd rather see Ishtar before Cats. But no, but with the wedding, overall, in the end, this is going to be remembered as a memorable segment in the history of Monday Night Raw, for both good and bad reasons. Where this storyline goes next, who knows? But ultimately, WWE got the one thing they wanted that they haven't had in a long, long time, and that's people talking about Raw. And they got it. Hook, line, and sinker. And I'll say this real quick, because I did watch AEW, and I did enjoy that show too. I thought they had some good matches there. And the Jon Moxley, I thought the progression of the Moxley storyline was fantastic. I really did. But
definitely,
I don't think anything could have topped Raw this week. I really don't. I don't think it could have been topped this week. So, all right. Fro and I, we're going to take a little break because we're going to let Al Out of Love do his Royal Rumble report. And when we return, it's all about Wrestle Kingdom 14. So we will be right back, and let's go to Al with his Royal Rumble report.
Hello everyone, and welcome to your Royal Rumble report. The Royal Rumble is just 3 weeks away from this Sunday night, January the 26th, live and exclusively on the WWE Network. For the second time in the history of the Royal Rumble, it takes place in the great city of Houston, Texas, which has a rich history not only in the world of professional wrestling, but in WWE history. Now, the main attraction of the Royal Rumble is, of course, the Royal Rumble match. And for the third year in a row, the women will have their Royal Rumble match. Now, this past Monday night on Raw, Charlotte Flair was the first woman to declare entry for the Royal Rumble match. Obviously, Charlotte is a heavy favorite to win this year's Royal Rumble match. Last year, she was the runner-up in the Royal Rumble, losing to Becky Lynch at the end. Now, of course, what position they're going to get, we're not going to know until the match begins. It starts with two competitors. Every 90 seconds thereafter, another individual will enter the ring according to the number they pulled. That continues until all 30 participants have entered. The last man and the last woman remaining in the ring in their respective Royal Rumble matches earns a championship match at WrestleMania 36. Charlotte being the first one to announce her entry into the Royal Rumble match not only could be a blessing, but it could also be a curse, as the other 29 individuals will know she is in the Royal Rumble match. As of right now, we do not know any of the men entering in the Royal Rumble match, but I'm sure by this time next week, we'll have at least a little bit of a clue as to who are in the Royal Rumble match. Now, of course, the Royal Rumble will also have championship matches, and as of right now, only 2 championships are going to be decided. The Universal title will be defended as The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, will defend that title against Daniel Bryan. The last time they met was at Survivor Series, where Bray Wyatt won the match. After that event, Daniel Bryan was a changed man. What did The Fiend do to Daniel Bryan? We don't know, folks, but I could tell you, come the 26th of January, we're going to see a new Daniel Bryan, and maybe even an old Daniel Bryan, as he pursues to win the Universal title. Also at the Royal Rumble, the Raw Women's title will be defended as Becky Lynch defends her title against Asuka. It was 1 year ago at the Royal Rumble where Asuka successfully defended the SmackDown Women's title, beating Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch has gone on record in saying this is the one debt that she has been waiting to collect. Will she be able to collect that debt in 3 weeks' time? Now, folks, there are tickets still available for this event in Houston at Minute Maid Park. If you can't be there live, sign up for the WWE Network. It's the best option to go to. You will get your first month free, which includes the Royal Rumble event. You don't want to miss out on a chance to be a part of history. The road to WrestleMania officially begins on January 26th at the Royal Rumble in Houston, Texas. With your Royal Rumble report, I'm Al Outta Love.
Thank you, Al, and now we're going to get into our feature here, and we're dedicating the rest of this show, the one you're listening to right now, to Wrestle Kingdom 14. We're going to get serious here. We had our fun with the wedding and all that, and now we're going to get into some business, because tomorrow...
Are we not going to cover New Year's Dash?
Well, there's no matches announced. They don't announce the matches.
No.
The only thing that's going to happen there... actually, I'm glad you brought that up. The only thing that's going to happen there is they're going to have the retirement ceremony for Jushin Thunder Liger.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, we have no idea what's going to happen. So, Wrestle Kingdom 14 is going to be 2 days this year. January the 4th and January the 5th. Both are going to take place in the Tokyo Dome in Tokyo, Japan. The doors will open Japanese time at 1500, which is 3 o'clock p.m. The opening match begins an hour later at 1600, which is 4 p.m. there, which would be 3 a.m. Eastern time, which would be 9 a.m. Fro time in Norway. So, and the main show begins at 1700, which would be 5 o'clock there, 4 a.m. Eastern time, and 10 a.m. in Norway.
I am so happy that I can watch wrestling in my pajamas.
You know, I have to be honest, when they announced last year that this was going to be 2 days long, I was like, well, number one, I don't have to take off from work because it's the weekend. And number two, I don't have to wake up at 3 in the morning to catch this. So, but I'm okay. I'm not complaining. I'm just, you know. So, let's talk about night one. We have 3, you heard that right, 3 pre-show matches. And the first one that we're going to mention, and this is important because this is going to be a Stardom match. The women's promotion in Japan, Stardom, which is owned by Bushiroad, the same group that owns New Japan Pro Wrestling. They are incorporating the wrestlers from Stardom into Wrestle Kingdom. So New Japan's going to have women's matches in the future. So, do you want to do a pick on the pre-show matches, or do you want to skip them?
No, sure. Why not?
All right. So this first one is a Stardom exhibition match. It's going to be a tag team match. Arisa Hoshiki and Mayu Iwatani, who wrestled in Ring of Honor, will take on Giulia and Hana Kimura.
Okay. I'm going to guess because I like people's name and not because I know who people are, because I really don't. I follow New Japan Wrestling once a year. That's not really true. I will go with Team 2.
All right, I'm going to go with Team 1 then.
Okay.
Then our second opening match is an 8-man tag team match. On one side, we will have Yuya Uemura, Yota Tsuji, Tomoaki Hanma, and Toji Makabe against Alex Coughlin, Clark Connors, Carl Fredericks, and Toa Hanare.
Team 1.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that one. I'll go Team 1 as well.
Aren't they going to have their annual like Royal Rumble thing?
Unfortunately, no, they are not this year. I know.
That's one of my favorite matches. So I love that.
You know, the annual Royal Rumble is 3 weeks away from this Sunday, but that's another story. And the final pre-show match, a tag team match, Satoshi Kojima and Hiroyoshi Tenzan taking on Manabu Nakanishi and Yuji Nagata.
Okay, I will go with Nagata.
All right, you're going to go with Nagata and Nakanishi. I'm going to go Kojima and Tenzan on this one.
Okay.
All right, now to the main card. The first match, and these matches are in order, folks. So, the first match is going to be retirement match number 1 for Jushin Thunder Liger. It is an 8-man tag team match. Each team will have a special corner man. There is a guest referee for this match. Former wrestler Norio Hanaga will be the referee for the match.
Oh, him.
Yes, exactly.
Of course.
We will have Tiger Mask, the Great Sasuke, Tatsumi Fujinami, and Jushin Thunder Liger with El Samurai in their corner, taking on Ryosuke Taguchi, Tetsuhito Takawa, Shinjiro Otani, and Naoki Sano with Kuniaki Kobayashi in their corner.
I have to go with the team with Liger because they're not going to let him lose any matches on his retirement.
I'm going to agree with you on this match. I can't see Liger losing this one.
Yeah, no.
The next match is another 8-man tag team match. As it'll be Los Ingobernables de Japón against Suzuki-gun. We will have Bushi, Shingo Takagi, Evil, and Sonata representing LIJ against El Desperado, Taichi, Minoru Suzuki, and Zack Sabre Jr.
I have to go with the team with Zack Sabre Jr. He's one of my favorite wrestlers.
I'm going to agree with you on that. I think Suzuki-gun is going to win that match. Hey, Fro, guess what we got next?
What?
Another 8-man tag match!
Whoa! I understand now why they don't have the Royal Rumble, because they using everyone in the 8-man matches. That's why there's no Royal Rumble this year.
This time it is Chaos against Bullet Club. Chaos will be
Oh.
represented by Yoshihashi, Toru Yano, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hiroki Goto. Bullet Club will be represented by Chase Owens, Yujiro Takahashi, Bad Luck Fale, and Kenta.
I will go with Bullet Club.
Yeah, I'll go with you. I'll say Bullet Club wins this match. All right, now we're getting into the title matches. So no more 8-man tag matches.
No more 6-man.
No more 8-mans for the rest of the night.
Okay.
The IWGP Tag Team titles are going to be defended. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, the Gorillas of Destiny, will defend against David Finlay and Juice Robinson, who won the World Tag League, thus earning this title opportunity.
Yeah, title change.
Oh, it has to change. I mean,
it has to. It has to.
The Gorillas have had the belt since February.
Yeah.
It has to change on this one.
I agree.
All right. Now, this next match is going to have very important ramifications for night 2. Because whoever wins this match will defend the IWGP United States title the next day against Juice Robinson. So it is Lance Archer versus Jon Moxley in a Texas death match where it is no disqualification, no pinfalls. You can win by a 10 count, a knockout, or submission. And remember, Jon Moxley never lost the title. He was stripped of the title because he could not make that title defense. So who do you have going over?
I'm going to say this will probably be match of the night. Who didn't really lose it, but
yeah, he never lost the title.
I feel what they're doing with him in AEW doesn't really fit in with him having a title in New Japan. I just don't see that. But I think he will win here and lose the next day. So I'm going to say Moxley.
I'm going to disagree with you on this one. I think Archer is going to win this one. I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't really matter because he's definitely not going to win the next day. So I could agree with you, but it doesn't. I don't think he will lose the first match because I think New Japan is interested enough in AEW relationship, if you can call it that.
Right.
That I didn't want to let him like.
Well, I'm actually glad you mentioned the word relationship because there have been some rumors, and I'll get into it when we get to day 2. With AEW and New Japan, so I'll try to remember to bring that up when we get to it. Next match, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Title. Will Ospreay defends against Hiromu Takahashi.
I'm going to let the champion have it here.
This is going to be a hell of a match because Hiromu Takahashi has not wrestled in almost a year and a half. He had that broken neck. I'm going to say Takahashi wins the belt back. Make it a feel-good story. Now, these last 2 matches are going to have big importance for the next day, which we'll explain later on. The IWGP Intercontinental title will be defended. Jay White will defend against Tetsuya Naito.
I go with Naito.
This is a tough one, but I think it's going to be Jay White.
Okay.
And the main event for night one of Wrestle Kingdom 14 for the IWGP Heavyweight title. The Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, defends against G1 Climax winner Kota Ibushi.
Ibushi.
It has to be Ibushi. It
It
absolutely has to.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so you have, because I want to remember this for later, you have
Okay.
Naito and Ibushi both winning the titles in the last 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will remember that for when we get to night 2, which we will get to now. And that will have the doors will open at 1300, which is 1 p.m. in Japan, so that'll be midnight over here. The opening match begins at 1400, which is 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. there, 1 a.m. over here, East Coast time, and 7 a.m. where you are.
Yes. An hour before.
So the opening match, the pre-show match, is going to be a gauntlet match for the never open weight 6-man tag team titles. I think the rules are pretty simple. 2 teams will begin a match. After a team has been eliminated, the next team will enter. The last team remaining are the champs.
Mm-hmm.
So the champions going into this are Ryosuke Taguchi, Toru Yano, and Toji Makabe. Here are the 4 challenging teams for this one. For Chaos, it is Robbie Eagles, Yoshihashi, and Tomohiro Ishii. For Los Ingobernables, it is Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Evil. For Suzuki-gun, it is Yoshinobu Kanemaru, El Desperado, and Taichi. For Bullet Club, it is Chase Owens, Yujiro Takahashi, and Bad Luck Fale.
I have to go with Evil and Team.
Okay, so you are predicting new champions on that one. I agree with half of that. I think we will have new champions, but it will not be Evil's team that wins it. It will be Taichi's team. Suzuki-gun will win the 6-man tag team titles. Now, on to the main show. And again, these are in order. We begin with the second and final retirement match of Jushin Thunder Liger. It is a tag team match. It is Naoki Sano and Jushin Thunder Liger. They will be accompanied by Yoshiaki Fujiwara against Ryu Lee, a.k.a. Dragon Lee, and Hiromu Takahashi.
Yeah, like I said, they're not going to let him lose his last 2 matches, so he will win.
I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with you. I think Lee and Takahashi are going to win this match.
Okay.
The next match is for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. The champions, El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori, will defend against the Super Juniors Tag League winners, Sho and Yo.
I think they will keep the titles there.
I think they're going to change the titles on this one.
Okay.
So I'm going to say Sho and Yo win it.
I have another title change later, so...
Well, our next match is another title match. This time it is the British Heavyweight title. Zack Sabre Jr. will defend against Sonata.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't have a title change here.
Yeah, I think Sabre's going to win this one. I think he's going to keep his title.
He's so good. He's so underrated.
I've seen him live. He is phenomenal. All right, next match. For the IWGP United States Heavyweight title, Juice Robinson will be the challenger against whoever comes out of the previous night. I think we both said Lance Archer was going to win that one. Did you say Moxley?
No, I said Moxley.
Okay, so you said Moxley, I said Archer. Okay, and you say that Juice will win the title.
Yes.
I'm going to agree with you. I think Juice is going to win the belt. I think he's going to be a double champion. We have him as a double champion this weekend. So there we go. Next match for the never openweight title. Kenta will defend against Hiroki Goto.
Ooh, this is a good match.
This is going to be very good.
I don't think it will steal the night, though. You go first for once.
This is a tough one. This is going to be tough to call here.
It is, because this is two teams that are...
Two guys that are very good.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Kenta keeps the belt.
Okay. I will go with the title change then, because I don't really have any.
Goto. All right.
Yeah.
Now, this next match, I'm gonna have to explain this one a little bit. We're gonna have a special singles match, and it's going to feature the two men who lost in the two championship matches the previous night, meaning the Intercontinental title and the heavyweight title. So your match, according to you, is going to be Jay White versus Okada. My match is Naito versus Okada.
I think we'd agree who will win, though.
Well,
because I'm going with Okada.
If it ends up being Naito and Okada, I think Naito's gonna win.
Really?
But if it's White and Okada, I agree. I think Okada will win. Only if it's against Jay White. Alright, then we have this match. This is a special singles match. This is not a title match. Hiroshi Tanahashi against Chris Jericho. Tanahashi said a few weeks ago that if he beats Jericho, he would like to have a shot at the AEW title, which has stirred up stuff saying, are they in a working relationship? As of right now, they are not in a working relationship, AEW and New Japan.
Cough, cough.
Right.
Not officially, but yes.
All right.
They are in a working relationship when one of the main attractions of AEW is allowed to wrestle for them.
Who do you have going over on this one?
I have absolutely no clue.
I'm gonna go with Jericho. Cause
really?
Look, I'm gonna say why. The last two times he was at Wrestle Kingdom, he lost. This is his third one. He needs the win. I can't believe I'm saying that about Jericho, but it's true. He needs the win.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go against you because, AEW.
All right, so you're going to say Tanahashi. And then we get to the main event of night 2. This is a double championship match. Basically, it is champion against champion, title for title. It will be whoever the IWGP Heavyweight Champion is against whoever the IWGP Intercontinental Champion is. So one man could leave with both belts. You have...
What do you mean? What do you mean one man could?
Well, it's a 60-minute time limit.
Ah.
It could go the full 60. You never know.
God.
So, Fro, your match is Kota Ibushi against Tetsuya Naito.
Oh, dream match.
My match is Kota Ibushi against Jay White.
Oh, so very good. I am going to say limit.
Oh, okay. I think one man is going to leave with 2 belts.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be Ibushi.
Okay.
I think the time has come for Kota Ibushi to be the big star for New Japan. And this is the
He deserves it.
And this is the way they're going to do it.
Yeah, he deserves it.
He does.
I can't disagree.
Now, I will say this, because I've been contemplating canceling my NJPW World subscription. If these 2 shows are not good this weekend, I'm going to cancel my subscription. And the only reason I say that is because I don't really use it that much. So,
right.
It's not that...
I definitely did not borrow Jeremy's account for watching this. I definitely did not.
Right.
Yes.
And then, like I said earlier, just to recap everyone, New Year Dash, which is that Monday. No matches have been announced. They will announce the card in the ring on the day of the event at 6:30 p.m. and they will have the retirement ceremony of Jushin Thunder Liger.
So when is this Norwegian time?
Okay, so if the show begins... Okay, I gotta figure this out in my math. In my head, with my math. So, January 4th, it's a 5 p.m. start in Japan. This is Saturday. And Japan is 13 hours ahead of me, which would make it 4 a.m. here. You're 6 hours ahead of me, so it would be 10 a.m. where you are.
Perfect.
And then the Sunday show, like the main show, I'm talking about the main show,
right,
begins at 3 p.m. in Japan, which would make it 2 a.m. where I am, and you're 6 hours ahead of me, so it would be 8 a.m. on Sunday.
So 8 at
in the morning.
Night?
No, 8 in the morning.
Oh, in the morning.
8 in the morning. So both shows are going to begin in the morning for you and will end in the afternoon.
Nice.
Yep. I did make a mistake because there was another story I wanted to bring up that we didn't get a chance to, and this one's a little bit weird, but I do want to talk about it real quick. Remember a few weeks ago or a month ago where we talked about Kelly Klein and her leaving Ring of Honor, or Ring of Honor leaving her, whatever you want to call it. And,
right.
And her husband was supporting. Well, they're getting a divorce.
Aww.
According to B.J. Whitmer on his Twitter, Kelly Klein cheated on him. That's according to B.J. Whitmer. We don't know the truth. We got to hear what Kelly has to say.
Bastard.
And you know what? I'm going to say this. I don't care if I make people mad about this. I'm glad she's leaving B.J. Whitmer. She's too good for that ugly man. Kelly Klein needs to be with a real man.
Shouldn't cheat, though.
Well, we don't know if they cheated. Or if she cheated. We don't know. B.J. Whitmer is saying that, but...
I'm just saying.
Right.
Should never cheat.
They have an impending divorce coming. And, ladies and gentlemen, we have late-breaking news to report. So, Fro, I have to bring back our music from earlier.
Oh no! Who's marrying who now?
Although I think this one you really won't care about. It was reported today on Instagram that Nikki Bella and Artem Chigvintsev from Dancing with the Stars are now engaged.
Good for them.
In her Instagram post, Nikki Bella said, excited for 2020 and the next decade with you at the Art EMC Heart. I said yes in France in November. We have been trying to keep it a secret, but really wanted to share our excitement for the new year. So you've been able to keep this a secret for almost 2 months.
Ah, Bella.
Well, you know what? She's been looking for love for a long time. Thank God it wasn't John Cena, because Lord knows what would have happened there. But
Do you think he's invited to the wedding?
I don't think they will see him.
See what we did there?
Yeah.
Jokes. We're so funny.
I just, and the only reason I'm surprised that they kept it this long, I always feel like Nikki Bella is someone who can't keep a secret.
I was sure you were going to say Nikki Bella isn't the person that can't keep a boyfriend.
Now,
bro.
okay, let me see what the age difference is. We're gonna play the ageable here.
I guess. Okay.
So I will
He's
once I get this set up.
older. Okay, but how old is she?
Okay, well,
she's
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you how old she is.
Oh, I want to guess that as well.
Okay, I'll let you guess it. How old do you think Nikki Bella is?
32.
How old?
32.
That's a good guess. She's 36.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Now,
Really? Oh,
how old is her fiance?
Is he older or younger?
Older.
I'm going. You said 36?
She's 36.
49.
Jeez, Fro. He's not that much older.
I'm just guessing.
No, I know.
Isn't this fucking guessing?
He's 37.
Ah. Okay.
So there's about a year and a half difference, but that's not bad.
No.
Now, of course, I'm sure WWE's going to do the whole congratulation thing. I wonder if on the WWE network, just out of curiosity, if they've edited out that part of WrestleMania where John Cena proposes to Nikki Bella.
Oh. No.
The worst WrestleMania moment of all time. Because, of course, we all knew that crap was coming.
Yeah.
Ended up not.
No, definitely. I could not agree more.
Oh, man.
It is. Is it the worst WrestleMania moment ever? Really?
As far as not being an organic WrestleMania moment, yes.
Okay.
As far as it not being organic.
I'm trying to think of. We should do that list, not next week, because
well, I
we
mean,
have something
this year we're doing the worst WrestleMania matches, but I think we could fit that in a future WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like the worst WrestleMania moments.
Yeah, let's talk about that as a main topic. One time we don't have a
I guess
pay-per-view to cover. Yeah,
we can do that. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to start wrapping it up for this week. If you guys have any questions or comments, send an email, wrestlingman@thatwrestlingshow.com. Follow us on Twitter. Excuse me, at Wrestling Show.
Whatever.
At Wrestling Show 11. Join the Facebook group. It is That Wrestling Show fan group. You type that in the search bar. You're right there. And just hit add, and we'll let you into the group. It's really easy. You could still vote on the year-end awards. You've got about another 2 weeks before we go through that. And check out the website, thatwrestlingshow.com. I'm not plugging the Patreon page because there's going to be some changes to that, which I'll reveal at a later date. Fro, what did you all discuss on Another Digital Citizen this week?
We had a very controversial thing that we talked about this week. We had a tournament for the most controversial, or what did we call it? The most controversial moment of 2019 or something. I think we called the tournament. Let me check that out. But yeah, that was a very fun tournament to do. We covered a lot of things. What did we call it? We called it biggest scandal. Oh, 2019's biggest scandal tournament.
My winner is Nancy Pelosi being on camera. There you go.
You will be very happy that your Baltimore mayor was in the first round.
She's not my Baltimore mayor. Shit. Mm-hmm. I didn't even go
I'm just
for
saying.
Her. I know. No, that was funny though. That was a funny story. But.
Yep. And we even thanked you on the show. So.
Oh well, thank you very much.
Of course.
Okay, I guess I should plug a couple of podcasts that I do. One of which is this Sunday, a brand new episode of Eliminated, a Royal Rumble podcast, where Jim Boy Star and we discuss each and every Royal Rumble match. This week, we are going to discuss the 1995 Royal Rumble match. For those that don't know, this is the one with Pamela Anderson there.
Oh, jeez.
And the winner of the Rumble has her escorting the winner to the ring at the main event of WrestleMania. So you're going to want to tune in to that one, because there's a lot of Pamela Anderson talk on that episode.
I remember that.
And
that was not the good WrestleMania, by the way.
Oh, no, 11 was terrible. Like, it only has, like, one good match, and it's the one that you don't expect it to be.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And also, it's probably up now, by the time you guys are listening to this, a brand new episode of Shark's Pond, a South Park podcast.
Woohoo!
And yes, I am back in the groove, and this week I reviewed the episode You Got F'd in the A.
That's a good one.
So check out Shark's Pond, a South Park podcast. Now, to not only our friends of the show, but other podcasts you should check out, our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling podcast with Joe Murata and Michael Quinn. They take you through the world of retro wrestling really like nobody else can. This week, they discuss the model, Rick Martel. They conclude the royal rankings of the best theme song of all time. And Fro, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. What is the best wrestling theme song of all time?
Old John Cena rapping song.
All right. My vote is Real American.
I'm a real American.
And when I am the President of the United States, we are going to switch our national anthem from the Star Spangled Banner to Real American.
Well, at least you don't do like wins.
Right. And they review The War to Settle the Score. This was an MTV special from 1985, which pretty much leads up to the first WrestleMania. Now, I also want to mention, because we weren't on last week, but I want to plug this as well. For their holiday special, they reviewed the 1991 classic film Suburban Commando with Hulk Hogan, Christopher Lloyd, and hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Check out that review. That is a great review. I'm going to watch that movie at some point. I really do, just to see how bad that is. That is our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast. Also, there is the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing, with former independent referee Mike Crockett, Chaotic Wrestling owner Brian Fury, and Ring of Honor star Brian Malonis, as they take you through the world of professional wrestling from people who've actually been in the business. This week, they talk about wrestlers to watch for in 2020. Check that out. And if you like your podcasts hosted by one individual, then I suggest Greetings from Allentown with PW Peter Winson. He watches one episode of professional wrestling each week in his own unique way and talks about a lot of other stuff. He talks about sports. He talks about, well, his job, cats, his wife. He talks about a lot of things. This week, he discusses an episode of Saturday Morning Slam.
Oh, Saturday Slam! Saturday Slam!
I actually remember, I remember watching a couple episodes of those.
Saturday
Check out Greetings from Allentown. Now, if you're looking for a non-wrestling podcast, let me recommend the Best Pick Movie Podcast with Tom, Jessica, and John. They are 3 fans of the movies. They love movies. And they discuss each and every Academy Award-winning Best Picture in no particular order, and they ultimately decide if the Academy got it right. This week, for the first episode of the new year, they discuss the Best Picture winner from 1987, The Last Emperor.
Ooh, that's a good one. What else was that here?
I've actually never seen that movie.
That's a good one.
The other nominees for Best Picture that year, Broadcast News,
No.
Fatal Attraction,
That's a good one.
Hope and Glory,
and
Moonstruck.
Oh, I love Moonstruck. Oh, that's such a classic. It should have won.
Oh, there you go. So you have Fro's pick there. Yeah. I have not seen The Last Emperor, so I'm gonna.
It's good.
So I'm gonna give you my side pick for in case when I do see it, and if I don't like it, The Princess Bride. That movie came out the same year, so I'm gonna give it to The Princess Bride. So. Yes, so check out the Best Pick podcast. A very interesting story about how this movie gets made. It is worth the listen.
Nice.
And check out Unspooled with Paul and Amy as they they watch and discuss every movie from AFI's list of the top 100 movies, the 2007 edition. This week, they wrap up their Best Movies of the Decade miniseries. So they are going to have special guests on there, so check it out. Unspooled with Paul and Amy. All right, next week. Oh boy, this is a loaded show next week.
Oh, we're not going to talk about anything next week. No, nothing.
I wish.
Nothing.
We're going to review both nights of Wrestle Kingdom. We're also going to have another Royal Rumble report. And we're going to preview Impact Wrestling's next pay-per-view, Hard to Kill, which is next Sunday night.
I haven't seen Impact this week. Jeez, I forgot.
Hey, I haven't seen any NWA this week. You feel surprised. Let me tell you. I tell you. On that note, everyone, have a good, safe weekend. Have fun doing whatever it is you do. And when you're done, come back here to another episode of That Wrestling Show, the only podcast where all pro wrestling matters. And as always...
wrestle off?
Did you know snakes have asses? That's what I learned at the wrestling show I went to last week. Snakes have asses. Bye.
Bye.